Welcome to Best Practices. Today, we will be looking at comparing and ordering numbers in third grade. I'm Michaela Guarniello. Let's take a moment to look at this image together. What do you notice? What do you wonder? I'm noticing a very confused woman trying to figure out how on earth 12 is equal to 54, or 12 is the same as 72. Clearly, toilet paper comparisons don't always make the most mathematical sense. In this unit, students are going to be comparing and ordering numbers. They will be doing so with numbers up to 10,000, and they will use words and symbols greater than, less than, or equal to. They will then order the whole numbers from least to greatest, as well as greatest to least, and plotting numbers on scaled number lines to compare the numbers. Number lines should be scaled by 50s, hundreds, or thousands. Let's take a look at what student learning can look like in the classroom. In our first video, students can represent numbers up to 10,000 by using place value mats, place value discs, and number lines to support them in comparing numbers by using the greater than, less than, or equal to symbol. Place value discs can help students visually see the value of a number, and plotting the numbers on number lines will give a concrete image of the order numbers come in. They can also follow up with discussion questions and responses. In the second video, ordering numbers instruction will also be supported with the use of place value mats, number lines, and place value discs. As we can see, students can use the place value mat to put the numbers in ascending or descending order. Students can use a piece of paper or construction paper to examine one place at a time to determine the value and if it's greater or less, and then order them. Place value discs are another great way to have students demonstrate the value of each place and number to then put them in an order. When we look at the MTRs, we're hitting here the MTRs 4, 5, and 6. 4 helps support engaging discussions that reflect on mathematical thinking of ourselves and others. 5 helps use patterns and structure to help understand and connect mathematical concepts. And 6 assess the reasonableness of solutions. By using the manipulatives and tools shown in the videos, we can build a strong sense of numerical place value to then compare and order rather than using that tempting alligator trick. Teachers can promote and support rich discussion throughout the lessons by posing questions, but also giving students question cards to have discussions amongst each other. Our first question: how did you know which number was greater or less using place value? I might pose this question or have students discuss this with each other when they are using the place value discs. By doing this, they can look at how many place value discs are in each place, in their thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, depending on the number, and determine the comparisons in which is greater, lesser, or equal. Our second question: which place did you start with on the place value mat when you were comparing the scores? After students have written numbers on their place value mat in order, they can look at starting in the thousands if that's appropriate and covering the rest of the number to really show that by starting in the greater place value and moving down will help us understand which numbers are greater or less and then putting them in order. Hearing and using appropriate language and vocabulary is crucial for understanding and enhancing instruction. Here we have the vocabulary words that we will explore throughout the unit: compare, order, place value, plot, scaled number line, whole number, and value. Some of these words pertain more to the manipulatives that we will be using, and others more so geared to the conversations and how we are ordering and comparing the numbers. All important to make sure students are grasping these concepts fully. Students can demonstrate their thinking and knowledge in a variety of different ways. Here we have an exit ticket where students have 4 different numbers up to 10,000 and a number line that's scaled by thousands. Students are plotting numbers on the number line to show the amount of money that was raised by selling concessions. Then they use this number line to support and answer the comparison question. Students will notice by looking at the number line that the number 7,518 is more to the right on the number line, showing a greater value, whereas the number 3,489 is more on the left and closer to the beginning of the number line, showing the lesser value. Here we have another sample of student work, and this will help with ordering numbers and showing understanding. The students have a list of numbers that they will plot on the number line. This number line, however, is scaled by hundreds, and they are required to order the numbers from least to greatest. You will see that by plotting the numbers on the number line first will help and support with putting numbers in order and having guiding questions throughout to support them in understanding why and how we compare these numbers. Here we have some great questions we can ask throughout instruction. I might use these to better understand throughout rather than at the beginning of a lesson to really understand if a child knows how to compare or order numbers. Our first question, how does place value help compare numbers? A student needs to have a strong understanding of what place value is and means in order to answer this. So if the student is able to explain that each digit has a different value to compare the numbers, that would show that the child does understand and is able to effectively compare numbers. Our second one, how does place value help you order numbers? Again, child needs to have a very strong understanding of that place value and what it means and what digit amount each holds. So an example would be if they're ordering numbers 334, 367, and 405, they can look at the hundreds place to start and then determine that 405 is the largest because there are 400s versus the 300s in the other numbers. I'm sure many of us have had families, parents, tutors, and after-school programs ask us, how can we help our students at home or out of school? These are two really engaging and fun activities that can be done at home with minimal materials. First one is a real-life example of cost of watching TV and purchasing a television. They compare costs and amounts of money that would be spent. And our other one, all you need is a deck of cards to create numbers with 4 digits and have students order them from least to greatest. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me on comparing and ordering numbers to 10,000. We will be back soon for more best practices. See you later, alligators.